Welcome, all you entertainment holics out there in entertainment land. It's time yet again for another thrilling, exciting installment of, you guessed it, Wicked Entertaining, coming at you live every Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Rock Rage Radio and Rock Rage Live. You can also watch us live on our YouTube channel, Get Real Global TV, and we're also Get Real Global TV on Twitch and TikTok. And then you can check out our Linktree page to see all of our social media and website links. Just type in at Jennifer DeVoe Muse. And then you can also check out our radio station, Get Real Global Radio, KGRL, on Spreaker. And then we're also syndicated on iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Podcasts, SiriusXM, Pandora, plus pretty much everywhere else you can watch or listen to podcasts. We're distributed by those nutty people at Sony Music Entertainment, Sony Music Publishing, The Orchard by Sony, and 50/50 Global Music Incorporated. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Jennifer DeVoe Muse. Just want to say hello to everyone watching or listening to this broadcast around the world. Let's say all hello to the sultry songstress, Amy Bowman.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. What are we doing tonight?
Like that intro, did you?
I loved it.
I always make it sound like you're a wrestler that's about to come out into the ring.
Round it up, everyone. Here we go.
Let's get ready to rumble. Anyway,
I love it. You're really good at that.
And somebody somewhere out in the world has probably seen our other co-host, because we don't see him, so somebody else has to, because I don't know, man. But it's the Mad Daddy of Metal, Shyler Staver, missing in action.
Yay. I understand they're working on new music. I'm waiting for it to come out. There's been a lot of good stuff coming from the Severed One camp. So, yeah, that's what's going on with them. Yep.
Severed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I am repping Skull Strings tonight, everybody. That's our sponsor, one of our sponsors.
Skull Strings.
On that one out.
Official sponsors of Sensation. Vampire metal band from California.
It's a freaking kick-ass shirt. Freaking cool.
It is a very nice shirt. I like it. It's pretty badass. Well, thank you, Skull Strings and all that. Thank you.
I know.
I like it.
Totally cool.
See, and then we plug the band. Then we plug the band at the same time. See, it's kind of like a
right, win-win right there.
Double win. Ding. And don't forget. I was about to say, don't forget to go see Sensation with the amazing lead singer, none other than the sultry songstress, Amy Bowman, at their next events. When are you guys playing again?
There's talk of yeah, you did. There's talk of a Trapped show coming up in November. We are working on new music as we speak. That one should be coming out soon, so keep your eyes out for that. We'll be letting you guys know. I do want to plug out, if you are in the Orange County area on Sunday, the I Hate Cancer Fest is going to be at Stages. So that's a big event. It is also free. I might actually show up for that one, so check that one out. Tyler, our guitar player, is playing in 2 different bands that evening, so
Ooh, nice.
yeah, that's a good cause. All proceeds are going towards cancer and cancer research. So you guys get out there, support. That's dear and near to probably everyone on this planet at this point, and definitely to many members of the one of the bands that Tyler's in. And so come on out to stages, you guys. Meet and greet everyone in the bands.
For those of you not from Southern California or don't know where the fuck Stages is, because a lot of people watch this from around the world, so they don't know where the hell that is. You know what I mean? So we kind of I guess I got to kind of start doing that a little more reference points, because you and I know what the hell's going on.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Because you've played a music festival of mine at Stages before, back when it was called Malone's.
Right.
Back in the day. For those of you who don't know where Stages is located in Santa Ana, California.
Correct. Down where Disneyland is. Point of reference.
Ish. Yeah.
Around in that area.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah. I'd say maybe even closer to even like Fullerton or something, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Something like that. But anyway, before we bring our guest on, let's see who's in the chat. What's up, Christina Avila from Christina Avila PR, who brought us our wonderful. See, this is a good segue. See, we can plug her, Christina Avila PR, and she brought us. Well, thank you for saying we rock. And she said to hello, Amy, and hello, Jennifer. Hello to you, Christina Avila from Connecticut. All right, we're going to which is not too. She's in New England, which is where I am. Most people don't know what the fuck. I've had people ask me what the fuck New England was. It's sad. It's just fucking sad. I had somebody ask me if Maine was part of Canada, if it was one of the provinces. I'm not shitting you. I'm not fucking shitting you. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. Like, yeah. I'm like, New England, 6 states make up New England. Hello. Learn geography. Well, if you're from another country, I'll give you a pass. Because you probably didn't study our fucking geography and you don't fucking know, and I get it. Whatever. Okay.
That's okay.
But if you're from America or grew up in the American schooling system, I have to wonder, did you live in the South? Because no offense, a lot of states in the South, and not all of them. Say a lot of states in the South are a lower education level, and it is what it is. And maybe they don't teach everything. Like there was stuff I was learning in Maine that I wasn't learning in Texas, so I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Who knows? But speaking of Christina Avila PR, she brought us our guest for tonight, and we're going to bring on Mr. Joey Jem from New York. For Basyl
my Happy
Hayden.
Meal's empty. What's going on? I think the Uber driver ate my fries, But anyway, listen. One Happy Meal a day keeps the misery away. Remember that. I learned that from my family members. So they wish Happy Meals on me. And that's what I do.
I got an amazing question for you then, Joey.
Yes.
Okay. What do you have in your Happy Meal when you get them? Do you do both double fries? Or do you do the fries and the apple slices? Or do you do just the apple slices?
No.
Or what
fries are mandatory.
Okay,
apple slices. And usually either an apple juice or a chocolate milk.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What is your go-to for the sandwich option?
You know what? I truly always loved the cheeseburger.
Oh
I
yeah.
you know,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, because I think that's the only thing that's really never changed. I mean, I've
Mm,
eaten
yeah.
cheeseburgers my entire life, and the
Mm,
McDonald's cheeseburger has never changed.
yeah.
So I'm very happy, just extremely happy when I receive that.
I love
There
it.
you go. Happy Meal makes me happy.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
very
how they started. Love how they started doing the option where you could get like a double, like a McDouble or a double cheeseburger or something,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
bigger kids meal. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
They
Yeah.
get a
yeah.
little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, you know
that's pretty
what?
cool.
I stick with the
Yeah.
traditional. I feel it's the safe way to go, and I can usually. I'm very
Hell yeah.
happy with it. And no pun intended. Just
I love
happy. I
it.
mean, that's the right word. You know. So I'm just
Official
excited.
sponsors.
I'm excited that someone in California actually is speaking to me. So I'm really Maine and California, Connecticut. Wow. I must be doing something right. Thank you for
Hey,
having me
Hell
on.
you're
yeah.
very
You're
welcome.
welcome. And we are worldwide, my friend. So we can reach people in Spain. I got people in Russia that watch. I got people in Italy. I got
Yeah.
people
Ciao,
in
come stai?
different parts of Asia.
Yeah.
That's
I was
awesome.
watching the demographics of the different stuff. And I'm like, I've even seen people from India that watch the show. So I don't know. It's kind of a little mixture of all over, like Italy and Spain and France. I have different places. It's crazy.
Well,
I was like, oh,
there's
okay.
7.2 billion people in the world. So even if
I
you had
didn't
a
know.
half a
I didn't think we'd
percent,
reach.
half a percent,
Yeah,
of one
yeah.
percent of that, you're doing okay. That's how I look at it.
I, I'd,
That's how my
I'd be happy.
success. Right. That's part of my success. I try to reach out to half percent of 1% of 7.2 billion people, and this is what I think of every day. And I'm like,
Yeah,
if half a percent of 1% of 7.2 billion people buy my music, I'm doing okay.
yeah. Oh no, actually, that's a good point. That's a good
Yeah,
way to look at it. I
yeah, yeah.
like it. I like
Sharing
it.
the love. Yes,
It's very smart. Very smart. I like it.
it's business, right?
I'd be happy if just if I could get my numbers up to where we got like hundreds and hundreds of viewers on one broadcast or whatever, like anything. I mean, I'd be happy with that. Speaking of numbers, if you want to support our amazing podcast, please don't forget to like us on social media platforms such as Facebook, such as Instagram, and all that loveliness. You can also find me on LinkedIn, where this is streaming currently as well. We're on Twitch. We're on TikTok. We are on YouTube. Go like our stuff and subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button on the thing and also like our video. So we would really appreciate it. It would help us get our numbers up. And we appreciate every one of you.
That's right. Share it out. Share it out.
Hell yeah. And also make sure that you go and check out Joey Jem and check out Basyl Hayden and like and subscribe to their stuff as well.
Thank you.
Yes.
And Amy Bowman and Sensation. Yeah, we're gonna hit all places. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna check out Amy's stuff as soon as we're done here. So
hell yeah. Go check out Sensation. They're a vampire themed heavy metal band. What are they like? Black metal? Black metal or death metal? Death metal?
No, just like more thrash. Like thrash.
Okay, got you. I was just like, there's so many effing subcategories of fucking music.
Tell me about it.
You say metal. Okay, well, what type of metal? Is it this? There's like 20 fucking million types of metal, many different types of rock, and many different. It's crazy. It drives you nuts. Now these even like subgenres of rap and hip hop. I'm just like, oh my god, just stop, please stop. Metal is metal, damn it, and rock is rock. And there you go, and stop twisting it up. Well, unless it's punk rock, and then that's a whole nother category. I don't know, whatever. Anyway,
Led Zeppelin was considered heavy metal, when they first came out. So I mean,
Oh well, yeah, I guess because of their sound, they would have been kind of heavier, like a Black Sabbath-ish kind of a thing. Yeah. I can see
So,
that. Yeah, I can see that.
it's,
But eventually they just became
modern
classic
metal,
rock.
is a little different than the older metal. However, it's all the same
Yeah,
thing. I
good
mean,
point.
Van
Yeah.
Halen was considered metal for a while. And then you got
Oh yeah, good
Metallica came
point.
out, and so
Well,
yeah.
Metallica, yeah, Metallica is like what, thrash metal, right?
I don't
I
know.
guess
I
what they're
really don't
considered.
know. You know what? I get called to do sessions all the time, and they're like, "Well,
Oh yeah,
I'll work with a pop star, and I'll work with with a thrash metal band, and
nice.
I'll just do what I do, and it kind of works,
That's
So
awesome though
Yeah.
for a session musician. You know what I mean? That you
yeah,
translate into different music categories
you have
to
to.
still, 'cause that opens up more avenues for work for you though. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, guys,
Yeah.
I have to admit, like, I'm extremely impressed with Slash's career. Because
Yeah.
Slash has worked with everyone,
Okay.
and it doesn't matter what field or what genre, you'll
Mm-hmm.
see Slash there. And
Oh,
Slash
nice.
developed himself to be this this guy that can fit into any situation, and that's what I love about him. Also Nuno Bentacourt, with Rihanna and the other, I mean, it's so cool. You're going from
Love it.
extreme to Rihanna, and and Eddie Van Halen did it with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
He was one of the first, and
Yeah.
my idol is Nile Rodgers. If you guys know who he is from Chic, that
Okay.
song. Yeah, shit. I'm a Nile Rodgers is my because he's worked with everyone. He's worked with Madonna. He's worked with David Bowie. He works with Chic,
Oh,
and he's been around and recorded with Quincy Jones, and those are the cats that I really truly respect and honor because they do it all and they fit, and no matter what they do it works, and it's magical.
right.
So that's what I love about music, because music is universal, and it doesn't matter who, what you're doing, as long as you believe in what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then that's the key right there, and
Right.
everything else doesn't matter. I mean, just
Mm,
believe in yourself, believe in what you're writing about, believe in what
Yeah.
your performance, and let the people feel something. And if you can do that, you made
right.
it. You know what I mean? You don't have to be playing Madison Square Garden and
Mhm.
say you made it. You do that kind of stuff day in, day
Yeah,
out. You're
no,
doing
totally.
okay. That's it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's cool.
good to have a consistent career than to just burn bright for a short period and then fizzle out.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen. To burn bright and make $1 billion isn't a bad idea, thing either.
Well,
You
no, that's
know.
amazing. That's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if you
Yeah.
got one or two songs that really hit,
Yeah.
to where,
Right.
you know what I mean? There's some bands that made a whole career off of one effing song, you know what I mean? Like,
That's right.
Right.
one hit, they saw one hit wonders,
Right.
but you know what I mean? But they made a career on that one hit or whatever. So,
Well,
you
you
know,
know what it is. I think that, and when you write, if you can touch one person or a million people,
hmm
that's the importance of writing music.
right,
If you could change someone's life,
right.
because you have a message,
hmm
and people will listen to that song, and the lyrics, I think that's the
hmm
key to being a successful writer or musician or whatever you want to call it. The financial
Okay.
success is different. That's just like business, right? You may make the best cupcakes, right? But and maybe
Right,
25 people love your cupcakes, but you're not making
right.
money with it, but still
Yeah.
those 25 people can't live without your cupcakes. So, music is the same way. It's like maybe only 20 people listen to what you got, or maybe you only have 15 people at a
Mhm.
gig, especially when you're starting
Right.
out. But those 15 people probably love what you do, and
hmm
you perform for them. And that's like performing to 15,000 people. You know what I'm trying to say? I hope
Yeah.
it
I
makes
do.
sense. Yeah, so
I
yeah.
do.
So that's
It's like it's
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like bringing the same energy to whether it's 5 people or 5,000. It's just like bringing that same energy all the time.
Exactly. Yeah,
As you
absolutely.
should.
Yeah, and that's the meaning of a true artist.
Right.
When you can do that, when you can go into a full room or an empty room and give it the same energy,
Mhm.
and that's extraordinary. Just like guys like Prince, Michael
Mhm.
J. I'm talking about names that everybody knows, right? But I'm just saying, like,
Mhm.
you walk into a room with one of those cats, whether you're sitting at a table or they're on stage, the same
Mhm.
energy is there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You sit there. Unfortunately, we lost both of them early. But if you
Yeah.
sat there with Prince, you're going, "Holy shit!" I mean, like the energy that this guy portrays
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
Yeah.
just, it's like, it's amazing. So I mean, that's something that you have to really respect. Yeah, what they did and what they do and what their music
Mhm.
continues to do. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
but so I don't want to be a blowhead. Where's the beer?
Yeah. Get it
Where's
out,
the
Okay.
Jimmy.
Basyl Hayden?
Oh, it's okay. Listen, listen,
Hey.
you know, whatever it is. So yeah, so that's that. My whole career is based on writing and producing music
Mhm.
and touring and playing live. However, as the years go on, my preference is writing and publishing music and recording and working
Mhm.
with various artists.
Right.
I've worked with some of, I mean, I've worked with the best in the world.
Right.
And there's nothing like sitting there and saying, oh, wow, man, this guy's in a recording studio with something that I wrote.
Mm.
It's a head
Yeah.
trip. It's a head trip. It really is. I mean,
Mm.
you may not feel that when it's happening. You may just, okay, it's work, right? But then
Mm.
when you afterwards, you go and, holy shit, I can't believe I just experienced that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Right.
Um, and then also I'm all about helping younger artists that are looking. Listen, I can't offer them anything other than helping them, collaborating with them, working with
Mhm.
them in the studio, and putting
Right.
out a good product. Right?
Mhm.
Um, Billy Joel. I work with his engineer, and he, his daughter is out there. She put an album out there, right? And he said, I hope she makes it, because there's really nothing Billy can do for her. You get where the industry is today. The
Yeah.
Right.
industry is at a point where people either love and accept what you do, or they don't.
Yeah.
You could put $100 million behind somebody, but if someone's not going to accept their music, you're
Mhm.
just throwing away $100 million.
Right.
So,
Oh, yeah.
maybe with the Beyoncé's and all that is a little different, because that's a whole nother world in its own, to break
Yeah.
into. But at the end of the day, when you're a rock artist or a pop artist, and if your expectation is to be like, oh man, I'm going to be the next, Michael Jackson or Madonna, whatever,
Mhm.
it's not that easy. I mean, it's
No.
it's you really have to believe in what you're doing and what you're
Yeah.
saying and what you're portraying,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
so it's interesting. It's really interesting, because you know what, the people that really want it, like yourselves, you're going to keep doing it. You know
Oh
what I mean?
well.
And
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing. And if
Yeah.
you're fake and you're doing it to be fake, you're going to stop doing it. So and those will weed themselves out. So that's really the face of music today, I think.
Right. I don't know, man. What do you think, Amy? 13 years. Do you think I'm still doing it? Do you think I'm still going?
That's great.
I actually do. Actually do.
Been
That's
on
great.
radio since 2012, bitches. Between yeah, I've been on FM. I've been on online radio. I've been at a radio station, LA Talk Radio,
That's
like
awesome.
Right.
doing in-person shows where people come in and sit with you and do an interview, or they call in like old school, like on a phone, and you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
old school shit. Like, and we got to actually take pictures in front of the LA Talk Radio sign with our guests and shit like that. It's different being out here because I don't have that same outlet, so to speak. You know what I mean? So I've had to go to online this way. But when I go back to LA eventually, my goal is to try to get in with Pasadena Media because I can produce a show for almost nothing, like literally, and they put it out to shit for me and run everything for me like Sam did. So it's going to be easier. I'll have a team. It'll be a whole different thing. So until then, it is what it is. We are doing what we do.
Gotcha.
But we thank all of our faithful watchers, especially when we rebranded from the old show to this one. That's crazy. I had a lot of fans on that fucking show, and
Well, I'm sure they'll follow you over. I'm sure they'll follow you over.
Yeah.
So Joey,
yeah.
I want to know, how long have you been doing this then? I mean, when did you start? What sparked your interest?
Well, you know what? I'm going to be, so my mom, when I was 6 years old, I lost my mom when I was 13. Okay. Thank you. She had cancer, and she, at 6 years old, she put a guitar in my hand. And she said, and she used to yell at me to practice every day, because she knew she had only a few years left, right? And she's like, and she would always tell me, that guitar is going to be your best friend. And I never understood what she, meant. I was 6 years old, I want to go hang out with my friends, right? And I realized that now I realize the message. I still have that guitar she bought me, and I use it to write, and it's hanging in my studio. And and so I and I just started writing like music, after taking lessons and stuff. I had, of course you learn with covers and Christmas songs and things like that. But then after that, after she passed, I realized that I was writing my own songs at a very, I was 13, and my first band was an original band, and we were together for like almost 8, 9, 10 years, when the scene was really happening. And in the 90s, we had the China Club and the Cat Club, and Polygon Records, when there was showcases, and things like that. Where you would actually go to a club and record execs would come down and watch you perform, and I always played, I always wrote music. And and as the years went on, listen, I'm blessed. I have a good life. But in 2017, I lost my 2.5-year-old son to a distracted driver. He was hit by a distracted driver. Thank you so much. And that's a story, like, in its own right. But then something else, when that happened, I realized, I'm like, okay, the music became even deeper, and from then, from September 2nd, 2017, my career started shifting to a highly successful level, and not because of, I mean, 100% because of my son's situation, but not because I was using that as a crutch. I was using his energy, to really find out who I am as a person. Okay. And I don't want to bring the show down, but what I'm trying to say is, that, it wasn't about going out and getting laid, and what I'm saying, and stuff like that.
Right.
It was truly about writing music with a meaning, okay, that people will listen to. And not only like and you'll appreciate this as songwriters. You write music, and then so I say you compose music, and you write lyrics. and then you
Right.
create a song, right? So
Right.
there's three stage. I've been asked to do a master class for writing songs, writing
Mm-hmm.
music, which I'm going to start in the next, probably in the new year in 2026. But
Right.
so basically, you know, the loss of my son taught me how to compose music that really touches the soul. And
Yeah.
and again, and I think many songwriters go through this, and you don't, unless you're doing it, you don't understand it. I would wake up after his passing, I would wake up in the middle of the night with a complete song in my head. Like, I'm talking about music, lyrics, hook,
Mm-hmm.
guitar solo, you know what I'm trying to say? I could
I do.
literally wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go into the studio and record a complete song,
Wow.
because I dreamt it, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm realizing now. So I don't even know if
Amazing.
music's my calling. I think my calling is more of trying of being a good person,
Mm-hmm.
and and putting and trying to have other people see the goodness in the world instead of all the negativity and
Mm.
all the
That's right.
despair. You
That's
know,
Gotcha.
awesome.
instead of telling people to go fuck themselves every time,
Mm-hmm.
just say, hey, listen, you know what? Maybe that person is going through something that I can help them with. You know what I'm trying to say.
Mm. Right.
I do.
So I think that, and again, that goes with anything you write. It could be, I was working with an artist and I wrote a song for her called it said, I hate your mother, hate your brother, hate your no, I hate your mother, hate your sister, I slept with your brother and I hate him too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it was a funny song. I hate your dog because he looks just like you, but
I
I'm
think
saying,
I've heard that song.
so the thing is, like, the song's called I'm Leaving. And it's
Nice.
like, but the point that I was trying to say is, like, everything doesn't have to be about hating. It's more of a, like, how do a tongue in cheek, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I just write about, I just wrote another song with which I'm working with an artist, Amelia Milos, who tours. She's You can look her up. She tours with Andrea Bocelli on stage with him, and she and the Caroline Campbell, who's the violinist. And I wrote a song called "Sorry," and
Mm.
one of the main lines in the song is, I'm sorry for loving you. Everyone's had a relationship or a friendship. It doesn't have to be sexual or anything, where it's like you
Mhm.
gave your all to that relationship, right? And then you say,
Mhm.
listen, it didn't work out, okay, for one reason or another. Somebody hurt the other person or
Right.
whatever. And when I was writing it, it was really interesting because I said, I'm sorry for loving you. However, then another part, the line, the kicker of it, the hook is, I'm sorry for ever trusting you. And
Oh.
I think that cuts deeper than loving, right? Because we all
It does actually.
we right, trusting someone is a lot
Mm.
harder than loving someone. You can fall in love, but can you fall in
Yeah.
trust? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so
Well,
and then, because of my son and because of all of that, I started this. If you follow my social media, which I'm not big on it, unfortunately, I need a team to put it together, and that's why I
Mm.
have Christina helping me with it and everything. Um,
Mhm.
so I started this thing called Universal Love. All right,
Okay.
and the reason being because people can love each other without any other kind of intention to it.
Yeah. Of
I can get to know
course.
you and love you, but people are afraid to say it. Like, if and you're women in the industry, right? So if you're working with men, working, like, trying to be professional, it's very difficult for you to say, "Hey, I love you," because the guy would be like, "Oh, what's up?" Or him to say, "I love you" to you, because I'm sure you're women, so every guy has a crush on you guys, and you're like, "What does this guy want?" You know what I mean? And
yeah.
well, so universal love is more of a thing where you're actually hey, whether you're a guy, whether you're a girl, whether, it doesn't matter, and you say, hey, man, you know what? I love you. I really love you. Wish you the best. And, I'm glad that things are going well for you. Or if you need me for anything, let me know. And I live my life like that every day. Soon as I'm about to get pissed and snap at somebody, I
Yeah.
look at them and I'm like, you know what, man, I really love you, brother. Oh, I love you, whoever you are. And you know what? And my life has been so much calmer. It's
So good.
interesting.
Nice.
Because it's not just saying it, it's about living it. You're
No,
gonna get
good point.
frustrated, you're gonna get pissed, you're gonna have your moments, right? We all do.
Yeah,
Life
yeah.
isn't perfect. But if you truly believe in that, no matter what somebody tries to do to you, if you truly believe in the concept of universal love and saying, listen, man, you know what? We're only here for a short time, you know? And instead of wishing you bad, I'm going to wish you love. It's weird to say, right? But it works for you. It
Right.
doesn't, what? It may not work for them. They may just say this person's a weirdo. But inside of you, it works. And and my life has been getting a lot better,
Mm,
working with people like that,
I like
and
it.
feeling that when I'm working with someone, and yeah, man, and you know what, and they give it back, believe it or not, men and women, they give it back. You'll be shocked because they're like, why would I want to hurt this person? They've been so honest and good to me.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
so, I don't know where your show, I don't know how your show goes. I mean, you want to talk about, strippers and strip
Oh,
club. I'm
please.
down for that too.
We
You
we
know what I
yeah.
mean? But I'm
We
just
talk
saying,
about really deep subject matters all the time. We talk
Oh
about
yes.
we've talked about pretty much anything you can think of. Rape, incest. We've
but-
talked
And
about
the,
people getting beat up. We've talked about suicide. We've talked about I don't know how many different. It's kind of like I'm one of them people for some reason. Everybody wants to bare their soul to me, which is
good.
fine because I'm an empath and I'm a
Right.
very loving and nurturing person.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? If I can help you release some of that pain and help you to get that out of you, it's therapeutic
Well, you're a
and
healer. You're a
I'm good
healer.
for that.
You're a
That's what
healer.
I've
Yeah.
always been like
That,
that type of person ever since I was a little kid. Animals and children are obsessed with me,
right.
as are old people.
Right.
And obviously, you got to have some kind of a glow about you or be a light in the world for that to happen.
yeah.
And also, another thing, I say I love you all the time, but with a caveat.
Right.
With me, it's the same as trust. You have to have earned my love,
Sure.
my
Sure.
respect, and my trust because those are on the same levels for me.
Right.
And for you to get to that level, I can say I care about you.
Right.
I worry about you.
Right.
Like I've said, man, there's a guy because I'm an ordained minister. I went out to the lobby and have prayed with a customer a couple of times with that same guy. Literally, I put my arm around him, held his hand, and prayed with him. And I've tried to be a beacon, tried to be a source of hope, and whatever. This show is meant for that. It's meant for not just entertainment in the sense that we interview bands and play music, or sometimes we interview an
Yeah.
author.
Well, that's what
Sometimes
universal love is about. It's about spreading
yeah.
universal
It
love.
is.
I don't try to focus on the word love. That's why,
Okay, gotcha.
like I said, because you know what, like I'm saying I love you is weird. You know what I mean? But
No, it's
to
not at
you,
all.
no. What I'm trying to say, universal love is truly about. Listen, I wish you the best, but you know what?
That's
It's
awesome.
like, and you know what? And when I start my mornings or I post something on social media, and I'm like, universal love, wishing everyone the best today.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
it's
That's a
taken
great
me a few
message.
years to break through to people where they're like, they'll DM me personally and be like, "Hey, man, I actually." I'm the universal love guy now, and they're like, you know what?
That's
I really
awesome.
appreciate your message. This, that you posted this morning, and
Yeah.
like again, if you could change one person's life, just
Yeah. That's
in that
amazing.
moment, it is because there's so many, the statistics of suicide today
Yeah.
and things
It's so
like that.
sad.
I mean,
Activity.
Violence and yeah. It's
if
sad.
you can just, if you can give somebody a sense of hope,
Yeah.
and
Most
that
definitely.
they're cared for, and I don't
Mm.
know, you know what,
So,
it's weird. Like I don't, you know what, I don't want to be, I'm Catholic, but I don't want to preach from the mountaintop. I don't go to church every
Um,
week. You know what I'm saying? I just don't do that. I don't like when shit pops up on my Instagram where it says, if you believe in Jesus, press amen and forward to 10 people. Like, I'm like, no, I'm like, you know what? I believe in, I believe in God and Jesus. I'm not going to press a button and send it and annoy 10 other people. You know what I'm
hey,
saying? It's like,
hey,
that's
I'm an ordained minister and I swear and I drink
right.
and
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
smoke pot and I
right.
smoke pot. So
Right.
I can't sit there and like, I've done bad things in my life, you know what I mean? But that's the whole
Yeah,
point is nobody's perfect. The
exactly. And
biggest
don't
thing is
try
to
to,
care
yeah,
for others, like help other people. Like I will go out of my way to help somebody. If somebody's
yeah,
standing behind, if somebody walks up behind me and they only have 2 items in their hand, two, three
yeah,
items, and I have a cart full of crap, I
yeah.
pull my stuff back and let them go ahead of me.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I do. It's really
I
interesting.
was raised right.
You know
it's
what?
just it's just
Go ahead.
being
I'm sorry.
kind, being
It's
kind.
yeah,
Yes.
yep. You know what?
But what if
I
that
buy
what if that
people.
one act of kindness helps someone, brightens
It
their
could
day,
change the world.
saves them from going home and offing themselves, whatever.
And it
If
totally can.
you do something, hug somebody.
You're absolutely right.
Put your arm around somebody, hug them. If you are religious or whatever, and you pray with people, then pray with them. Whatever it is that works for you
Smile.
or
Walk
for
down the
them
street.
or whatever. Yeah, just smile at somebody walking down the street. That right
Yep.
there alone might
Yeah,
save someone's day, might
Y-
save their life. You don't know.
It's mind-boggling how many people smile back if you smile at them.
it
Yeah,
is.
that's
It's
why
amazing.
I smile all day.
It's really
Probably because I'm
truly
high.
amazing. Yeah, no, we should do that more. It's
Yeah.
I was sitting at a very here in New York we have something called Miracle Mile. It's a very
Oh,
posh,
okay.
well, it's a posh,
Same
expensive.
as LA. They have the same thing here. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like,
no.
where the
Yeah,
Tiffany's and the
sometimes I'm not
Saks
in
Fifth
LA.
Avenue and all this stuff. And, Ralph Lauren
Yeah,
put
same
in
thing. Same
put
thing. Yeah,
coffee
in Los Angeles.
a coffee
Yeah.
place.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I went there, had my $8 cup of coffee, sat down, and, this girl in technically in a wheelchair, beautiful
Oh,
woman, beautiful girl,
no.
young girl. She
Yeah.
dropped her wallet, and I was sitting, a
Oh,
few tables away, and she's struggling to pick up this wallet, and
oh,
and you know,
right,
and I was like, okay, 'cause some people get insulted. I'm like, should I go over there and help her? What should I do?
right,
Right?
right,
I
right,
was a what is it called, a conundrum, whatever that. So
right. Yeah.
I'm sitting there, and I went over to her. It was just about a week ago, and I said, would you mind if I help you with that? And she, oh no, thank you. That'd be so kind. You're so kind. I did it. I gave it to her, and then we just started speaking. And
Oh,
about the challenges. She was
that's
beautiful. And I said, I hope to see you again, just talking. And she's like,
yeah.
yeah, I work at Lululemon, and so
Ah,
here she's working at Lululemon, you know what I mean? In this
love it.
posh thing, she's in a wheelchair, but I was like, you know what? You're a better person than I am. You know what I mean? Like, meaning you have the strength inside of you. And we really spoke openly about, what I forgot what she had. I don't know if it was MS, or whatever, but that wasn't even the issue. The issue was that this
Yeah.
person who's in a wheelchair struggling is out there every day
Right.
independently,
Yeah.
going to work at Lululemon where everybody's like, I mean, there's no clothes at Lululemon that I could fit in. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I mean? It's like everyone's in
Oh,
perfect, everyone's in perfect shape. Everyone's,
cute.
trying to,
It's like
live.
cute.
And she's working there in this situation. I mean, who's better than her? Right? You got to
Yeah,
respect
totally.
her. I mean,
Totally.
I hope that people realize like how lucky they are to be able to walk and do things, right?
Yeah,
And this girl is there helping you at a store and she can't even get out of a wheelchair.
right.
I mean, it's just so life is so diversified. We're blessed to wake up every morning and to be able to do what we do. And
Yeah,
then these
most
people,
Really
definitely.
there are people out there that are struggling and they're just
Really
happy to be
bad. Yeah.
alive. And she
Yeah.
was as sweet as pie and beautiful and very intelligent. A great, she could, I just a great conversation. So anyway, so my point is, you know what, just be good to people. and
Yeah.
um
Most
and even
definitely.
through our music, it's like, I mean, whatever
Healing.
we sing about or perform about, we can actually change, whether it's good or bad, we can change people's views on things, and that's why I always believe that as entertainers, we should really not get involved in the political atmosphere because it kind of clouds our judgment.
true. I agree with that as well. I really don't think we
I
There's
should.
mean,
some
as
bands.
a
Yeah.
radio host,
Mhm.
Really
yeah,
don't.
I mean, your word is important. You know what I'm saying. But as entertainers, Johnny Carson, I'm dating myself now, but they asked him about politics, and when he had his Tonight Show, he said, "I'm here to make people laugh. I'm not here to pick sides. I'm not here to, help with elections." You know what I'm trying to say? People want to tune out at night and just laugh. They don't want to think about all the problems of the world at 11 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying?
I think Amy and I remember Johnny Carson there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you
We're,
guys look
I
we're
like
aging
you guys look like you're
ourselves.
18 years old. So
I
I'm,
fucking wish.
outed myself last week
I
with
I have children. I have children that are older than 18, as does Amy.
oh,
really.
really? Wow.
Oh yeah. I wish I was
Wow.
that. Well, no,
Wow.
I
Yeah,
don't know if I
yeah.
want to be
Well, you
that
know what?
age.
I have a few kids up my sleeve as well. So, so yeah. And
Love it.
I'm one of them is turning 19. So I get it. I know how it
I'm
is.
forever 29. I'm forever. That's
Forever.
what my
I
nana
never
used to
made
say.
30. Yeah.
That's what
I
my nana
never.
used to say. I'm 29 and holding, Jennifer.
Yeah. 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 I'm in a holding pattern. Yeah. Yeah. It's
She was
Yeah.
like,
like 80. She was like,
22. 22.
70s and 80s.
that's
I'm the,
great.
I'm 22. Stop yourselves.
That's
Oh,
good.
you're stuck at 22? I got you.
I am.
That's it. That's how it should be. I mean, listen, I think the soul never gets old, and I think that our soul is who we are. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, and so we just, our bodies age, but I think
Yeah.
our souls are always who we are. That's who we were brought into
Right.
this world to be. And we
I'm
just,
just a big kid. I'm
yes,
just a big kid.
that's really,
I don't think I'll ever fucking grow up. But hey, I mean, I'm responsible, but I don't know if I'll ever grow up. There's a difference.
Right.
So, all right. So let's talk about Basyl Hayden. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, when did the band form?
Last August, not this
Oh, so
August,
it's
20.
recent.
Yeah, yeah. We
Okay.
so Basyl Hayden. So basically, it's four guys.
Okay.
One from Alabama, Mississippi.
Okay.
The other one from Nashville, and two guys from New York. Myself and the drummer.
Interesting. That's a
And
I saw that.
yeah.
I was reading that.
Interesting
well,
dynamic. I like that.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? I got a call because I was doing some work in Nashville, and I
Mhm.
was working on the Cyrus team through with Billy Ray.
Oh,
Not
gotcha.
not
Crazy.
not yeah, and basically, so people in Nashville know who I am, and
No.
I got a call they said, listen, my friend from Alabama, Mississippi, Shane Russell, the singer,
Mhm.
the bass player called me from Nashville, said, listen, Shane wants to put together a band to write some songs. And the only guy I could think of was you. That and I built a studio in New York called 316 Studios, which is
Awesome.
my son's birthday. Rocco's birthday, baby
Oh,
Rocco's birthday is March 16th. So I
oh,
named it 316 Music Studios.
I
So I
like
built
that.
a beautiful, thank you so much, a nice Highline facility to play in, right? To rehearse in. And so I said, yeah, why don't you guys come up from Nashville? And and we'll see what we get. So we
Mhm.
started the project, and it was just like boom. Like the first, I think you have a song there called "Shy," which is the first song we ever
Yeah.
wrote together,
Okay.
and then we went right into the studio, started recording, and then we recorded 2 or 3 songs. So we did everything in a week. They came in, we wrote the
Wow.
songs, and then went into studio, recorded them, and then I produced it and finished it up as they go back,
Holy
home and do their thing.
crap.
And
Okay.
so we didn't have a name, and so because you were like, okay, what do we call the band? And we're all
Right.
sitting there. And meanwhile, I wish I had a picture of it. I'll get a picture for you. We had a bunch of bottles of empty bourbon, and the name on the bottle was Basyl Hayden.
I love it. I
so
love it.
so we're sitting there, we're like, what do you think we should name the band? One guy's like,
Now you're all
one of,
drunk.
yeah, one of us is like, fucking Basyl Hayden, man, that's what it is. And everybody's like, yeah, that's what it is. And,
There it
and
is.
sure enough, we changed one letter for trademark issues, but we just
Right.
figure, listen, if they want to bust our balls, they can bust our balls. But the thing
It's
is,
hilarious.
and the name stuck. And then you know what? I just said, and they're like, well, what's the logo? This and that. I'm like, dude. I said, we're gonna have a dog named Basil, so and we got the picture of the
I love
dog,
it.
and we made that our logo, and so
Wow.
it's like, so now we're known as Four Guys and a Dog.
Ah!
So and that's what we're doing now. We wrote some great songs together. I mean, I think the guys are just so effing talented. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
they're not looking like. Again, I was trying to explain this. We're just looking to have a good time. Like we're
Nice.
all pretty successful in our careers. We're all
Sweet.
financially well off. So
Oh,
for
that's great.
us, this is not like a project where, oh man, like we're 20 years old and we got to make it. You know what I mean? Get on a bus. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
We're
right.
like
Yeah,
we're like, let's write some great music and let's see
yeah.
what happens. So when you
Oh, that's
go in with
awesome.
that attitude, guess what happens?
Yeah.
Shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Because
Fuck
now
yeah.
all of a sudden it's like, I don't want to go, to Europe. I mean, I didn't expect, I was doing this for fun, and all of a sudden now big shit's happening. And the song Dog, which is the title debut track, which you have, they called The Dog's About to Get Out.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I'm a publisher and a songwriter, and I'm sitting down with the NFL to see if they'll pick it up for Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. Now, like we're talking about the one hit wonder type of stuff, right? If we
Yeah.
get picked up on that, you're talking millions and millions
Dude,
and
that's
millions
a
of
game
dollars.
changer.
That's
That's
it.
a game changer.
Yeah, and at that
I
point,
love
it's like, we're rolling our joints and smoking weed
Hell
and
yeah.
smoking our cigars and drinking Basil
Woo!
Hayden. And
Hey,
Right.
we'll play one song for the rest of our lives and people will know what it is. You know what I mean? So
wow.
Exactly.
and that's what it's all about. I mean, it's like we connected. So we're a young band, meaning young band, not an age as for individual members, but as far
Yeah.
as the band is only honestly less than a year old because we haven't even played out yet. We played one show in New York, and
Okay.
we're doing on December 5th. Because next year we plan on touring and opening up for some major acts, like
Nice.
Linger and things like that,
Yeah.
and so we're December 5th is going to be like our debut release, of the band, and we're playing my father's place, which is owned by someone called he's known as Epi. Epi discovered, if you watch the Police documentary, he discovered the Police, he discovered Madonna, he discovered and The place was called. It was like the bit. Have you heard of the Bitter End in New York City? So
Sounds familiar. That one
the
sounds familiar.
Ramones started there. All of those
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, okay.
So
I'm a
Epi,
Cali girl.
you're a what? You're a Cali
I'm a
girl. I
Cali
know.
girl.
But the Bitter
I'm
End.
an
If you
East
look,
Coast person, so yeah.
they had a movie out about the bitter end. It was all
Yeah.
about the bitter end. So, and so basically, Epi was the other person. He was the guy that had my father's place on Long Island, New York. The bitter
Okay.
end was in New York City, and bands
Okay.
like the Rolling Stones, all of these bands, they would come. They would play the bitter end in New York City, and then before they leave, they go do my father's place in Roslyn, New York, and it's
Oh,
still there.
nice.
It's still there.
I love it.
So I chose to do our first real big show there,
Mhm.
and the reason it's a
Nice.
big show is because these crazy nuts charge $38 a ticket. I'm like,
Gosh.
you charge a $38 a ticket. It's like it's like we better hope we do a good draw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But but again, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a band that is new and nobody really have they heard of us individually. I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah.
I recorded with Billy Sheehan from Mr. Big, and me and him did an album together and we did shows together. So I mean, I
Right.
have some kind of what is called notoriety, but it's not
Right.
enough to sell out an arena or anything. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
But
Right.
but you know what? That's why every little thing you do,
Mhm.
it adds to your resume,
Right.
and so yeah. So I mean, I'm very selective of the shows I do because I don't want to bore people. I'm like a
Mhm.
three-trick pony. I don't have like I'm not Eddie Van Halen. So for me, like you come see me once, you saw me for my career. And but again, but I've gotten very far with doing what I do. Like
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be anybody that I am. And the big guys, like we're talking about here, Billy Sheehan, Rod Morgenstein, heavy cats. I played with the keyboard player from oh my God, Night Ranger, Eric Levy.
Oh yeah.
I record and write with these cats, and
Yeah.
like they appreciate what I do because it's good music. I mean, I think it
Mhm.
is anyway. I mean, based on them wanting, they won't work with you unless you got something happening. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No. Yeah. Totally.
so again, but I'm blessed because I wouldn't be in the same place I am if it wasn't for my experience in life by losing my mom at 13, by losing my son in 2017. I
Mhm.
would be at a different place. My mind wouldn't be where it is. I would be doing
Right.
it for the wrong reasons instead of the right reasons.
Wow.
Okay. And when music is from the soul, it comes from the universe. I say universe because people, some people don't believe in God, right? They just refuse to
Yeah.
believe in God.
Yeah. No.
So
Totally.
to make them feel comfortable, I say universe, and that's
Mhm.
universal love. It's God's love. But I say universal love because they're almost tricked into believing, you know what I'm saying, what I believe in, So
Mhm.
what I'm saying is, music comes from a higher place.
Yeah.
It doesn't come just from, oh, I'm a great songwriter. Bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, great football player. It's like it's a gift. Not everybody has an arm like Tom Brady. And
Right.
Tom Brady got drafted like 13th round. Like I mean, like like he didn't even know how great he was. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like the universe and God and all that good stuff works in extremely amazing ways.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so what I was trying to say is I'm blessed with it's not the amount of talent you have, it's what you believe in. Okay. If
Right.
you believe in what you're trying to sell, if that's the proper word, to people,
Right.
people
Yeah.
will get it.
Okay.
If you're trying to say, like, I know artists, oh my God, that they change their look every week. They don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? They're
Right.
like they're trying to fit
Branding.
in. Yeah, oh, I'm gonna do
Branding's
this.
everything.
Exactly. It's like, you know what? Be who you are. Brand
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, and just that's it. And people will either like it or not. If you're going to try to conform to what people like, they're going to know you're fake. They're going to know you're fake. You know what I'm
Oh
trying
yeah.
to say? It's like,
Right.
that's it. Listen, I try to go to the ghetto and push myself off as a black man, but I just, people don't believe me. They're like, dude, what are you doing? No, no,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying. But it is that absurd. It's that absurd. It's like, listen, be who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not fooling anybody.
It'd be
So,
like JJ trying to pass himself off in some neighborhood as white.
right, exactly. I got hit with allergies. I was fine. I was telling you before. All of a sudden, it's like I'm about to do this thing, and I'm starting to feel like I got allergies going on. I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's like so. But anyway, listen, I'm really enjoying this. I hope you guys are too, because
Oh yeah, we're having a great time. Hell yeah.
I got a big mouth. I speak too
You'll be all
much.
right.
So
Nah,
yeah,
Dude, you're from you're from New
from New
York.
York.
It's all right. It's from New York. I know a lot of people from New York, you know what I mean? And like it's just how you guys are, big personalities, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Is
yeah.
You're being you and authentic, and we like that. That's the whole point.
trying
You
to
make
keep
We
me
don't
it
like
feel
close.
we don't like fake fuckers. I
Yeah,
don't like fake fuckers. I'm me every minute of every day. I am me. I have to
good.
watch my language while I'm at work, but I'm always me at the
Right.
end of the day.
Well, you got to be.
You make me want to buy an airplane ticket and see your show on December 5th. You really do. I'm kind of like,
I know, right? We're gonna go see
Listen,
Basil.
well, you know what? Let's all keep in touch.
No,
Because we
most
may,
definitely. You can hit me up
I mean,
anytime,
we,
man.
2026 will probably be in California, and
hey,
we'll do a show, and we have the videos. I think Christine might have sent you our
Oh yeah.
videos, and
yeah, I watched, what was it, Little Black Dress this morning? I watched that video. Yeah,
yeah, thank you so
that was
much.
good.
That's a cruel. So so everything we write about. I don't want to say I write about, but that was a true. Everything I write about is a true story. The dog was a song. It was very interesting because we had the dog logo, and
Mm,
I told the guys we have to have something. It has to be about the dog. I mean, you know what I mean. And we're like, so
right.
we're like, because we're so so rivaled up to get out there. I'm like, all right, so we're the dogs, and we're about to get out, and that's how we came up with that one. But like like I tell people in interviews. I could never write "Smoking in the Boys' Room" because Motley Crue, and before that someone else recorded it. But because that's not who I am. You know what I mean? So the
Right.
story behind Little Black Dress. So I do photography on the side. I'm working with an artist, right?
Mm,
So everybody thinks, oh, whatever, you're having an affair with somebody, and they left their clothes there, right? If you
mm,
listen to the words, but the girl, we in the studio, we were taking pictures, and she was getting
mm,
changed like on the side. It was like she was just, instead of
mm.
going into upstairs and change, she was just taking off her clothes, but nobody saw it. She was in private. But the
Yes,
thing
thank God.
is,
No.
so when I was cleaning up the studio the next day, I found this little black dress. And I'm like, oh fuck! I'm like imagining my wife found it. Yeah, I'm like, this is like causing problems here, right? So, I
Right.
called her up and I said, listen, kid, I'm like, you know what? Take your clothes with you. I'm like, like, don't leave your clothes in my studio. I
I
go,
was gonna say, what was she
I
wearing?
can get
Jesus.
myself in my own trouble. I don't need you to help me. You know what I mean? It's like I don't need any encouragement. So anyway, so then I wrote this song called Little Black Dress, and then Shane carried the vocals, rest of the lyrics, and
Mm,
that's how we work. I usually give a title and a few lines, and then Shane will finish the rest. You go, because we all have input. I mean, we're four guys. We split everything 25, 25, 25. And because our poor drummers usually don't get anything. So, I make sure the drum is
mm.
covered, and we just go from there.
Very
So,
cool.
and Little Black Dress is actually, it's like it's one of those
Okay.
sleepers. You know what I'm saying? It's like people listen to it. You got to listen to it a few times, and it grows on you.
Okay.
And it's such a girly song. It's about it's all about a chick in a black dress.
I did listen to it twice. I admit, I listened to it twice.
Thank you. That's listen, that's
Do you have like
that's awesome.
Do you have an actual music video?
Oh yeah, this video's
Do you have an actual music video, or is it just like she sent me? Okay, because she sent me the
BasylHayden.com, BasylHayden.com. There's the 2 current videos, and now we're recording a 3rd video. Yeah. So all our music, because today it's hard to release an album, so we're just releasing videos.
Yeah, so it was on YouTube too. You just have to spell it right.
Yeah, right, exactly, right. Otherwise, you go to the liquor
so
company.
it is on YouTube. You just gotta spell it right.
Yeah, but if you go to BasylHayden.com and you'll just hit on the link, it'll take you right to the videos.
So yeah, we should stay in touch because I write a lot of music as well.
Is there a video for each song?
Yeah.
Text me after this, or find me on Facebook. I'll send you my telephone number. I'm bad with Messenger. I'm not on my phone all day looking at Facebook and stuff. So, but I'll send you my telephone number, and you can text me, and we could work and collaborate. I love collaborating, and there's some cool shit that I wrote, for a female fronted material. It's just hard. You gotta have the right attitude. Oh, so we were, Lizzie Hale's manager. I forgot his name, but he's an older gentleman. Lizzie Hale, right? Hailstorm.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot his name now, but I was working with a female artist a while ago, 4 years ago, and she just, a great person. Just didn't have, great looking person, but didn't have what it took vocally. You know what I mean? And we were distributed by Sony Orchid. I forgot the name of the record label now, and I wrote the whole album, and basically 2 days before the showcase, I had a drummer fly in from North Carolina, and he actually listened to her voice and called me and said, "Dude, I'm not interested." I said, "All right, sorry." You know what I mean?
Aww.
Which sucks. Yeah,
Oh dang, that sucks.
Yeah. We broke the band. I mean, the project broke up right after that, a couple months afterwards. So it's tough. Yeah. But now she's writing music about me, telling people that I did it without you. I'm making it without you, and I'm going, good for you. You should. You know what? Listen, if someone is writing a song about you, take it as a compliment, because that means you're always on their mind. I posted that Elvis Presley, you're always on my mind. So I said, so that's a good thing. So if they're writing a song about me, like Taylor Swift writes all about her exes, you know what I'm saying? That means you're on her mind.
Right.
That's right. That is true.
Exactly. If I'm writing about you, you're on my mind. You know what I mean? So good or bad, you're on my mind.
There's a song or two about me out there, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. It's all good. Listen, my daughter flew all the way to Brazil to see Taylor Swift. I mean, God bless. You know what?
Really?
That, whether you like her music or not, that girl is freaking talented. She's doing whatever she's doing it right.
Smarted out.
Yeah.
Smarted it out.
Yeah. We lost the other host.
We lost you, my love.
She had a bathroom break.
Something.
So, yeah, that's how it is. Usually at a party, one starts falling off, and then there's
And the others go, and you're like, well.
Yeah. You keep it going, but definitely I will. Send you my. Look me up, however you want to do it. She has all my info. Christine also. Christina.
Yes, she was on our show. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so she's promoting, helping with my promotions, and that's how I'm here. And she will, she has all my info too if you want it. And it's she does amazing. Listen, she works hard for the artist.
She does. I get stuff all the time. She's always uses my page as a platform, which is good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
My page stays active as well, so that's good.
Yeah, no, keeps everybody, I mean, she's just, what does she have to gain from it? She's doing her gig, and she's meeting people and talking to people, and she's very enthusiastic. And, it's like makes me feel like I'm like, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah,
Oh, excuse me. Woo.
you're good. Oh.
Allergies kicking
Amazing
in.
how many people she puts out there too. It's just
Yeah.
how many people she's, got she's interested in, how many people she's promoting, and
Yeah.
different genres too. I'm like amazed. Cuban
Yeah.
artists and
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
as yourself and a
Yeah.
lot of people around the world. I'm just wow, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. To talk about these international artists, I got a call last year from like one of those, like I want to say, oh God, like a Spanish artist, right?
Okay.
And I said, this is gonna be easy. Fuck it. He wanted me to do 10 shows with him in New York, and then I listened to his music, and I was like, holy shit, this stuff is really like, it's like something that you really have to be listen to it your whole life to get the feeling down. You know what I'm trying
Oh
to say?
yeah.
It's like a rock salsa type of thing. Less rock and roll, more salsa. And I listened to it. I called up a buddy of mine who's a big studio cat, and I said, "Hey, man," I said, "You know what? How do I approach this?" And he listened to it. He's like, "What do you feel?" I said, "I feel like I can't do it." That's how I feel. And he's like, "And
Yeah.
don't." And I called the guy. I said, "Listen, man," I said, "I'd love to do an album with you because the guy's really he's huge in like Europe and Spain and everything.
Yeah.
Tours the world. I mean, I'm talking about 40,000, 50,000 person stadiums. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I just would not do you justice. Like I would be, I would not be an asset to your project." And
Ah,
and he said, "I really appreciate that." He goes, "I would really love you to be on it." He's like, "But if you feel like you can't do it," he's like, I said, "Listen, but if you want to put together like rock salsa album,"
oh,
I'm like,
uh-huh.
I'll write the tracks for you. And so he recently, this was last year, he called me recently. He said, "Dude, you want to work 2 or 3 songs out?" Because every artist is looking to do something different. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I said, "Absolutely." So I'm working on some music for him. Again, you know what? If you love music, you
Yeah.
know, collaborating with people is really a lot of fun, and it's really positive. Like I said, I'm working with this girl, Amelia Milo. She's touring with Andrea Bocelli. She's the lead in Phantom of the Opera in Europe in Tuscany, and she's in Wicked, and
Yeah.
and she's a pop artist also, and she's
Wow.
beautiful. She's young. She's like 28, 26 or 28 years old. And and I just love her voice makes me cry. It's so good, and I love collaborating with someone like that. It's just to see all the amazing talent that's out there. I would love to hear your stuff, because I wrote some of like hard rock, I call it hard rock punk type of stuff, but it's not punk. I'm not a punk artist. But I love some of